Now, Fox 16 News with an Arkansas Storm Team Alert Day update.
Well, that winter storm now out of the state. Did you just see it? The sun did appear, but unfortunately the danger remains. Good evening and thanks for joining us for Fox 16 News at 6:30. I'm Kevin Kelly. Another Arkansas Storm Team Alert Day is in effect due to below freezing temperatures that will consume the natural state. Many roads throughout the state, especially the back roads, remain covered in ice, snow, and slush. Chief Meteorologist Joel Young, a very busy man, joining us now. So what can we expect over the next few hours and more importantly overnight, Joel?
Well, the extreme cold in itself is going to be dangerous, so please be careful. If you do have to go out there, make sure that someone knows where you are in case you slide off the road. You don't want to be facing the extreme cold that you're going to be out there driving through. There's a live look at Dardanelle. You can see the bridge here well maintained. They've done a great job with all these main roads, but as Kevin mentioned, it's the back roads you got to really watch for. But even at times this week, we suspect that there could be freezing fog Wednesday and Thursday morning, and then on Friday there could be some additional snow showers. So even some of these main roads that have been cleared at times may be questionable, especially when you have refreeze and some of that snow that's on the side of the road. Sometimes it drains as it's melting and then refreezes, so you can still get patchy ice even on the main roads. Extreme cold warnings go all the way through Tuesday morning. Frostbite and hypothermia can set in so fast if you're out there for too long with exposed skin. Frozen pipes will be an issue as well as we start that thawing process. Closings, there is a high number of closings out there. Travel conditions still a high impact, as I mentioned, and the freezing temperatures. That's what this is all about. Right now it's 24 degrees. We didn't get much out of the upper 20s today. Some of us got above freezing in Hot Springs and Arkadelphia, but now we're back below freezing, and our wind chills, mostly teens, but northeast Arkansas, single digits. Overnight tonight, our temperature dropping down to about 7. The wind chill probably a little below that, maybe even closer to 0 in some cases, but the wind is out of the southwest. Tomorrow will get a little milder, but a reinforcing shot of cold air arrives late this week. And could it bring us snow? We'll have a look at that coming up, Kevin.
In a Fox 16 safety alert, what you just witnessed is something I hope you never have to experience. A solid sheet of ice from the rooftop of another car flying off and directly into another driver's windshield. It's a possibility considering the winter storm we just experienced. But as our Catherine Thornberry reports, there are a number of things you should do before putting your car in drive.
Scraping away at the stubborn ice on your windshield.
If you warm the vehicle up, 9 times out of 10, this surface area right here is warm. There's a layer of water between it, and the whole thing comes off a lot easier.
Auto tech Marcus Worthy says there's a safe way to do it, but it's important not to forget about what's on top of your car.
If you're on the freeway and those ice shards fly off, they are heavy. And if they hit the windshield, I mean, you lose control, anything can happen.
And if you're like me and maybe you don't have an ice scraper handy, don't worry, you can get creative. I have a broom, and this car here has been defrosting for over 20 minutes now. I think that's the key, is having it defrost. I also think this would work better with snow and not ice, but we'll give it a try here. Here we go.
You know, something as simple as that. It's got the length. You don't have to be very tall. I'm not exactly the tallest individual, but I can get up there with a broom, with the car warming up on the inside with the defrost on.
Other drivers tell me about their own techniques.
Put the defrost on the windshield and let it get hot, and it basically melted everything on the windshield. I had to take everything off with a cardboard box, kind of scooted off the windshield off the front of the hood.
Whatever it takes to avoid a sheet of ice flying off your car and potentially causing damage to another.
It's mainly been like trucks that are like delivering stuff because they have bigger sheets of ice on there, so I would try to avoid driving close to those.
Some really good advice. Catherine Thornberry reporting. From early morning calls to late night rescues, towing companies across the state are working around the clock to get drivers unstuck and keep roads safe during the winter storm. One local business, J Hook Towing and Recovery, received over 450 calls over the weekend, mostly for semi-trucks that got stuck. One of the most serious calls was for a semi-truck that you just saw tipped over on Interstate 40. That was in Lono County. They're working with Arkansas State Police to get it cleaned up, and State Police reported there were no injuries. The towing company, meanwhile, is reminding drivers to stay prepared and use extra caution when traveling in winter weather.
Call 911. But if you're going to leave your house, be sure you have a blanket, your phone's charged, your car's full of gas.
Watch the roadway and watch people from, hitting you, and just watching yourself and others.
The towing company says local roads are more challenging to drive on than highways and interstates, and they recommend sticking to the flattest routes possible. Keep in mind, they also have crews available 24/7 to keep everyone safe, telling everyone to not hesitate to call if you need help. Turning now to a Fox 16 News update, Arkansas Department of Emergency Management officials confirming 2 deaths since the winter storm hit on Friday. The most recent being a 40-year-old man who died in an ATV accident that happened near Hope. Officials have not yet released the man's identity. The other death, a 17-year-old boy in Saline County. That happened on Saturday. Adams officials say the teen was riding on an inner tube that was being pulled by an ATV before that tube hit a tree. Adams officials also saying at least 8 other people suffered some type of injury in at least 3 different counties. The Arkansas National Guard continues to step in to assist stranded drivers as they did all weekend long. The Guard sharing these photos on Facebook yesterday. You can see soldiers from the 77th Combat Aviation Brigade helping a driver who got stuck along Interstate 40 in North Little Rock. In the post, they say they were able to shovel the snow out from around the car and then push the driver back onto the road safely. It's just one of many examples where Guard members have stepped in to help not only people but also animals, including a dog they found wandering in the bitter cold in Prescott. They were able to identify the dog's homeowner and establish the address so they could safely return the dog. So that's some good news there. And some guardsmen will be turning their attention to assisting Arkansas Emergency Medical Services. Teams will be spread across the counties you see in red on this map. Teams of more than 120 guardsmen will assist first responders with getting to patients and then transferring them to ambulance crews for treatment and transport. They will also help any ambulances that become stuck in the snow. This part of their mission is expected to last at least through Wednesday. Nearly 200 line workers from Arkansas have been dispatched to help restore power in Mississippi and Tennessee. Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas is a Little Rock-based organization that pairs electricity companies with others to help restore power in areas with large outages. During the winter storm, Mississippi and Tennessee were slammed, which made them lose power in some major areas. 130 line workers were sent to Mississippi. The remaining 47 were sent to Tennessee. The help provided by the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas powers over 1 million Arkansans and those in surrounding states. Cabin fever, well, it might be setting in across central Arkansas, but some local favorites are finding ways to keep the lights on despite icy roads and skeleton crews. Coming up, where you can grab a hot coffee or a bite to eat, and how businesses are working to keep you safe while they stay open.
Now, from the Arkansas Storm Team, weather to plan your day with Chief Meteorologist Joel Young.
This winter storm has brought a lot of negatives across the state, not just in terms of temperature or the wind chill, but I want to focus on some positives here for a second. I want to give a big congratulations to Grace Robertson and her new fiance here in Jessieville. This snowposal, if you will, was sent to us today here. Of course, you can submit pictures using the Arkansas Storm Team app. That's what Grace did. We want to offer you some warm wishes on your new, on your future as you look forward to your marriage there together. And of course, you're going to need some warm wishes because we do have some extreme cold that's going to continue as we head into midweek across the state. Extreme cold warnings continue through noon on Tuesday. So extreme cold means we're going to have, of course, we've had it for the last few days, wind chills between 10 above and in some cases all the way down to 10 below. But we could be dealing with that again. And remember, those roads are still dangerous. I would suggest if you have plans to get out, if you've got to get on the roads tonight, especially those secondary back roads, make sure you have a survival kit of some sort in your vehicle, because if you were stranded on the side of the road, you want to make sure that someone knows where you are. You want to have blankets, winter shoes with you. Some of these things you may not necessarily need on at this point, but you definitely want to make sure you have water with you just in case you get stranded out there and you don't have a cell signal, because it is going to be extremely cold as we go through the night tonight into midweek. We'll start to climb a little bit above freezing, but then we have another big cold snap into the upcoming weekend. There's a live look at our Guatney Chevrolet Tower Cam right now. We're mostly clear. Down to 24. Those temperatures are going to continue to tank as we go on through the night tonight. But that wind out of the south tomorrow is going to help us get a little bit above freezing, and that will help make some progress. Tonight, that temperature down to 7. Dangerously cold. And then tomorrow we have a high of about 35 degrees. We'll have some sunshine mixed with some clouds. We'll have some thaw, but then it refreezes again. So if you plan to be on the roads Wednesday morning, you're going to want to make sure, again, somebody knows where you are in case you slide off the road. You don't want to be stranded out there, especially without a cell signal. You want to make sure that you have a way to get out of that predicament if you find yourself in there. And by the way, Wednesday morning, even though some of those roads are going to be better, we may have freezing fog. Visibility, according to this particular model, suggesting the southern half of the state has visibility down to 0. We're going to have temperatures in the teens. So if that's the case, you're talking about every little droplet of that moisture that makes up the fog clings back to those bridges and overpasses that, yes, I know are already dangerous, but those roads that were once cleared that you were driving on during the day on Tuesday, they may be dicey again Wednesday morning. So don't get overly confident that things are getting better. There may be times they go back downhill. Thursday morning, the freezing fog could be widespread across the state. We're going to be below freezing most of the next several days. Even if we do get above freezing during the daytime, it's only going to last for a couple of hours. And then at night, you drop back below freezing. So that's why we had that Arkansas Storm Team Alert Day on Tuesday. And you're going to be dealing with perhaps frozen or busted pipes as we go into the coming days. That's when you start to realize the real damage that was done to your home's infrastructure. Cold front comes through Thursday night and Friday. That could bring us a few brief snow showers. I don't see it bringing a whole lot of accumulation, but an additional ½ inch, maybe an inch, isn't completely out of the question. Most of us will dodge that. Friday, we only make it to 28 and 26 on Saturday. So whatever we do thaw out is just going to refreeze, and anything that does stick, if we do get anything with this round, it'll have to be cleared as well, because we're going to be sub-freezing through this upcoming weekend. Any of those snow showers should be limited to Friday morning, and then into the weekend it's extreme cold we're dealing with. Again, wind chills down below 0, maybe down to 20 below. I think those extreme cold warnings will be back this weekend with potentially pipe breaking cold into the weekend. So you might survive the first cold snap in terms of your pipes, and then you have next weekend. So unfortunately that can add insult to injury, but at least as of now we are not facing another major winter storm. Just maybe some brief snow showers on Friday, and then the weekend is really cold. Maybe we get back up to 40 on Monday. That's gonna feel nice.
Weather.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joel. As Little Rock continues to recover from the winter storm, some neighborhood restaurants are doing all they can to reopen their doors, even if it means reduced staff, shorter hours, and a lot of teamwork. Our Mike Rogers did some scouting for you and has more.
As Central Arkansas digs its way out from the winter storm, some Little Rock restaurants are slowly easing back into business, balancing customer demand with the safety of their staff. At Milo's Coffee in Hillcrest, it's been a day-by-day decision on whether to open, with shorter hours and fewer employees to make it in.
Over the last couple of days, we've just been kind of watching the weather, watching the road conditions, and kind of leaving it up to staff to make that decision if they felt comfortable to come in.
Milo's Coffee General Manager Lindsay Kendrick says the shop is operating with about half its normal crew, opening late and closing early, but still seeing plenty of foot traffic.
So we've seen a lot of our regulars. We've also seen people just walking through the neighborhood, and then, people driving when they can.
Across the street, Hill Station has also been busy, even extending hours through the storm. General Manager Kristen Bryant says it's taken a lot of teamwork to keep the doors open.
My husband and my brother-in-law pick everybody up, get everybody here, take everybody home, make sure everybody's safe. And it's been a short staff. It's been the same crew for the last 3 days, but that's how we make it work.
Despite fewer servers and cooks, Brian says customers have been patient and appreciative.
To be the neighborhood spot, and we're the neighborhood spot.
While both businesses say losing busy weekend days hurt, staying open, even a limited way, helps keep employees working and their customers connected as the city begins to thaw.
Mike Rogers reporting, and I'm sure enjoying a nice warm cup of coffee at the same time. Good job. Arkansas point guard Darius Acuff Jr. has now won 6 SEC Freshman of the Week honors. Hard to believe. That puts him in some elite company when it comes to the conference history books. We'll tell you who he joins in accomplishing that incredible feat. That's next in Fox 16 Sports.
Now, Fox 16 Sports with Sports Director Courtney Mims.
In case you missed it, former Hog and Little Rock native Hunter Henry heading to the Super Bowl. He is doing so after the Patriots beat Denver in the AFC Championship yesterday, celebrating the only way you would after punching your ticket to the big game, making some snow angels. You gotta love that. New England will match up with the Seahawks in Super Bowl 60 on February 8th in Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. We'll have more from him coming up tonight at 9. Listen, y'all. We might as well rename the SEC Freshman of the Week award to the Darius Acuff Jr. Award because he has won it so many times now. Today, he was given the honor once again, the sixth time he's gotten it in the last 7 weeks. That puts him in some elite company. For those of you who don't know, he now ties the record for SEC Freshman of the Week awards. Only 5 other players have done it in conference history. Alabama's James Robinson, Kentucky's Brandon Knight, Florida's Bradley Beal, Auburn's Jabari Smith, and Auburn's Brandon Miller. Acuff, of course, deserving the award once again. He went off in the second half of Arkansas's win over LSU, scoring a career-high 31 points with 6 assists and 2 block shots. Here's what Coach Cal had to say on his performance.
He's got an edge to him, and I just keep working on his body language because he doesn't understand. He gets mad at himself, and he kind of, well, you're affecting these other guys. They're looking to you, and you got to be the one talking, and you're fine, and then do your thing, and then how about this? Defensively, do what you're doing on offense. How about going and getting a couple rebounds so we can finish the game off like Malik Thomas did? But I love coaching. I love coaching this team. I told him, I walk in every day, I'm happy.
And over in Jonesboro, the snow not stopping the Arkansas State women's basketball team from playing one of the biggest games of the year against James Madison. A roof leak did delay the game until Sunday, but if you didn't get a chance to catch this one, you missed an amazing comeback. One for the history books by the Red Wolves, down 18 points to the Dukes. It didn't matter to this squad. They rallied against them to come back from that big deficit and win 74-67 the final score. The Red Wolves still first in the Sun Belt right now, 18-4 overall. They're 9-1 in conference play.
You know, we got down 18, and in those moments, you figure out how tough you are. And I know that we're tough. We do this every day. We work extremely hard. And I think they thought I was going to cuss them out at halftime. I did the exact opposite. I told them we about to have fun the next 20 minutes. Now I probably use a couple other words, but I knew that our time was coming, our run was coming. We were going to wake up. So I got to give a lot of credit to our players because they're the ones that have to do it. They stepped up.
That's going to do it for Fox 16 Sports. We'll be right back after the break.
I don't know if you saw this. This is just nuts. It was an amazing athletic feat that some of you may have watched live this week in rock climber Alex Honnold ascending the Taipei 101 skyscraper on Sunday without any ropes or protective equipment or safety nets.
Nope.
Yeah, he was able to reach the top of the over 1,600-foot tower. Mere 91 minutes. No big deal for him. His climb of the iconic building in Taiwan's capital city drew both excitement and concern over the ethical implications of attempting such a high-risk endeavor on live broadcast. Netflix did broadcast it live, but with a 10-second delay. You can imagine why.
Yeah.
Honnold is known for doing climbs without equipment, which was well documented in his Oscar award-winning documentary Free Solo, where he successfully ascended Yosemite National Park's El Capitan. I saw some.
It's Free Solo guy.
Yeah.
I love him.
I still question this.
I saw some clips on like social media, just clips, 10-second clips, and
Sure.
I got queasy.
Yeah, I would too. I'm just
From the
getting
comfort
queasy
of my
hearing the
own
story.
couch, just watching this.
Absolutely not.
Don't show the pictures again.
No.
It's scary.
It's on Netflix if you want to watch it.
Well, at least you know he did it, so
Yeah.
it's not like they didn't cut away.
Yeah,
So-
right. Technical
Yay.
difficulties.
Right. Let's quickly get a look at that morning drivecast brought to you by the Crane Automotive Team. In the morning, it's going to be real cold, down into the upper single digits. It's going to feel like single digits, near zero, much like this past weekend. Just nothing falling from the sky. Of course, we'll have more updates on that extreme cold and what might be late this week. That's coming up at 9.
Oh, by the way, Alex only got $500,000 for that. We'll see you at 9.
Oh,